Hello everyone, welcome to yet another tutorial slash video slash explanation of what the hell is going on with Amazon. My name is Roman, I'm Amazon seller, and in this tutorial I scattered a brief simple example of how does the financial statements work for Amazon sellers, right? Because technically there are three financial statements: balance sheet, P&L, and cash flows. And Amazon or any marketplace, they don't explain those stuff. They don't tell you those things. It's supposed to be obvious for anybody who's studying the marketplace selling, but it's not. So that's why we have this tutorial, and later I will explain to you how the proper Amazon metric processor help you out with all of that madness. So let's gather like a brief example. You open up your store, right? And you feel the strength that you can do this, right? You found the product, you make the research, you found the niche, you found the supplier, you made your business plan, and you put your $10,000 down to get your first inventory flow to Amazon, right? So you have your investment of a 10K in a cash flow statement. Yeah, I don't know why I started with the cash flow. Let's firstly describe like balance sheet, P&L, and cash flow, three financial statements. So if you think the store is like a baby, like a human, right? So P&L is a heartbeat, is a heartbeat. So there is a like rhythm into it, right? The balance sheet is like a healthy check. You make like a healthy check once in a while, once per month, once per quarter, whatever. And the cash flow is the bloodstream that feeds all of that. That kind of the explanation. Another explanation would be like the balance sheet is the picture of a conditions at a particular time. So you just come to your business, take a pictures, and look at the picture. So that's what you see on the balance sheet. And the P&L is like how you perform in and out and flow. And the cash flow is what feeds all of that, because you need to pay for everything these days, right? So back to our example. You got your 10,000 down, and immediately you have your cash on your asset side, and you have your 10,000 put down. Then you bought the inventory to this 10,000. Yeah. So again, this is a brief example, like super oversimplified. So you put your inventory to 10,000, and luckily you bring everything to Amazon, and everything is fine on Amazon. You launched your store, right? Let's put an assumption that you have like a 400% markup. Let's assume you sold everything, right? You have a 400% markup, you get your revenue of 50. And then you have your expenses that Amazon would take from you. You have your fees, fulfillment fee, referral fee, advertising fee, maybe warehouse. Let's assume there are no more expenses. So you end up having 5K. Not bad, right? Not bad. However, the marketplace seller has a catch, and the catch is that your money sits on the account most of the time. So in fact, what you're gonna get is from this 5, most likely you get 2 in cash and 13 in the accounts receivable on your account. Why 13? Because you sold at 5 at a profit, right? But you paid your 10,000 for the inventory, for the COGS, right? So the payout would be more or less like a 15 or something like that. And eventually you had your 10,000 as an investment, and you have your residual earning or equity sitting as a 5,000. So in fact, you'll be like sitting cash poor, and you found yourself in a situation where you expect the money to be received. You sit on the cash with the 2,000, but you sold all of the goods. You have nothing. Right? So this is the most like brutal truth that most of the sellers face, that this process of selling it most of the time takes time. So this like process needs to be tracked monthly by monthly, and balance sheet needs to be checked like what. It's better to do it monthly, but it's super hard to track this residual amount on the marketplace because it fluctuates. Because again, Amazon or marketplace plays its own game. We as sellers play our own game, and it's so tempting to charge you for like inventory outstock, like late storage fee or something like that. It's super tempting. So that's why it's super important to track your final margin. Luckily, do it weekly. If you can do it monthly, that's also good. Why is this important? You know, when we started back in 2018, we had a simple rule, like super simple rule. We had a rule like be on the 5 countries, 5 marketplace, sell 5 ASINs, and those ASINs is to be sold by 5 items with a 5 margin. This is a super low, like $5 margin. I mean, this is a super low, but this was our goal because it is because the marketplace selling is compounding and it's scalable. Why? Because once you get the 5 marketplaces, you get your reviews funneled all together into one listing, so you get your ranking better. So eventually, if you hit that low of a goal, it has a compounding effect on the marketplace because you sell across the globe, because you sell everywhere, and all you need to do is to track down all of your margin and all of your heartbeats across every marketplace. Yeah, I know there are like compliance checks, there are communication struggles with the freight forwarders, with the warehouse and whatnot. Yeah, but it's part of the game, right? You have this pressure from all of the places, and you just use your communication skills and martial arts in the emails to kind of tame those tasks, right? But the thing is that in our example, you have like a 10% margin, which is good, which is really good. But at some point, the sellers can be approached by the predators, by the lending companies, by the lenders who just offer you money and not explaining you stuff. And the problem with those guys is that they link to your account, they see the payout, in our case is a 15, and they just factor this into their interest. And it's not fair. Why? Because you have your balance. You have your balance sheet. If you reach the 5 marketplaces and you store inventory in those 5 marketplaces, it has value. And those fellas, they don't know it. Moreover, they don't even consider it as a value. Because I know the drill. I've talked to them. They don't consider the inventory like in Europe or in UK and Japan as something that can be taken as a collateral. So they basically see only the payouts. And this is not. It's ridiculous. I know that, but that's the rules that we're facing. That's the condition that we're facing. That's why it's super important to know the margin of your store, the margin per ASIN margin. And these days Propamp.ai can do that too for you. All you need to do is you need to put your initial investment of inventory that you bring to Amazon, keep it there, and just track your margin, track your P&L across different countries, across different ASINs. And moreover, these days we have MCP server, model context protocol, and you can connect super smart AI agents to your store and ask the questions and help you improve your store. Because this example is super simple. Because reality will not that be lucrative. In reality, what's gonna happen if you're just launching the store? You're gonna spend on ads like triple, like 30, and eventually you will see like negative margin. Why? Because you don't have anything. You don't have reviews. You don't have a pace. You don't have a legacy to live on. So that's why it's super important to first make a procurement in bulk, deliver as much countries as you possibly can, and track your P&L weekly so you can see the pace of your margin becoming to the green zone, you know, making more green, making more positive. Because most of the time when you launch, you got your honeymoon period on the marketplace where you suck all of the money to ads. All of the money will be sucked by Amazon to the ads, so you get your ranking, you get your positions. But once you do that, and once you approach the different countries, you get the reviews, you got this compounding effect, and slowly but surely you'll be able to see the positive margin of your store. So then you can approach your supplier saying, yeah, listen, this machine is working. The node is working. Node is positive. I need to protect that. So you're gonna help me do that. I'm talking from the personal example, because once we started back in 2018, we faced the same problem. We faced the same problem when we had the money, but we didn't have them. We have them on my account. We were cash poor, so we approached the supplier saying, "Yo, we're doing this together. We're in this boat together. Let's do it together." So they most likely will ship units out to you for the later payment, then you will get the accounts payable to your suppliers. So once you get the money, you close the accounts payable, and now the game becomes more and more like difficult. But that's the part of it, and that's the beauty of it. It's not easy, but it's that simple. Again, the AI and Propamp.ai will help you to tame all of that. I think that's it for me. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have any questions, please leave in the comments below. If you like this, if you like the platform, please share with anyone who's doing the Amazon seller. We would be loved and intrigued to have you, and I'm able to do a free onboarding. Thank you so much. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.